Click here or in the description to get our free Learn to Code ebook and to learn more about building a career in technology. Also, be sure to subscribe to this channel for more programming tutorials. In this video, we're going to cover the very basics of CSS, or cascading style sheets. And the number one reference that I would recommend is just Google searching CSS MDN. And you can get this Mozilla Developer Network website where they cover basically everything about it's the CSS documentation. There's tons of information. So go ahead and just click on a bunch of links and go through the tutorials. You'll learn a whole lot. But we'll go ahead and get started on this tutorial here. So basically, what I have here is a folder. This is the project folder. And all I have is an index.html file and a style.css file. And so the CSS basically allows you to target specific HTML elements and do certain things to them. So I'll show you an example here in just a sec, but first we need to connect the style.css to the index.html. And the way you'll do that is inside the head tag. And if you look online, you can just type in link rel equals style sheet, or just link rel, and W3 Schools will have information on how to do that. But basically, you just have this HTML element here, link rel equals style sheet, and then the type of text / CSS, and then the href is well, it's not theme.css, but we have an href that we use. So again, this goes inside of our head tag, and we'll go ahead and do this, but this isn't going to work because the href is the path to our file, our CSS file, and our CSS file is called style.css. So we need to change theme to style.css. So we'll go ahead and save that, and then let's go ahead and test it out. So in our style.css, we can target different elements on the page. So let's go ahead and target the body tag, and we'll change the background color to yellow. We'll go ahead and save that, and then go to our web page and refresh, and the page is yellow. So now, just to show you, let's go ahead and to organize our project a little bit more, we'll make a folder called Style Sheets, and we'll move the style.css file into our Style Sheets folder. So now if we refresh the page, it doesn't work anymore. And the reason is because the style sheets, the style file is inside of this folder now. So in order to access the style.css, we need to tell our project where the style.css file is. And this time it's not in the same directory as the index.html, it's in the style sheets folder. So what we'll need to do is we'll need to write style sheets, and then slash style.css. So you can save that, and now it works. So that's basically how you connect the the CSS file to the project. And now I want to show you a couple other things here. So we'll go ahead and get rid of this. And I do have, oops, need to delete that. Okay, so basically, yeah, you want to make sure you're editing the right file. So we have an empty CSS file now inside of our style sheets folder, and I do have some notes here, but basically what we're going to do is we're going to start out with just a couple paragraph tags inside of our body. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple. So now let's say I want to target all of these paragraph tags. What we can do is we can use our CSS file to target the paragraph tags. And you'll see that the tags are like P tags. So to target the P tags, we'll type in P. And then the open and closing brackets to tell us what we're going to do with those P tags. Let's change those colors to red. So let's go ahead and save that and refresh. And now all of the paragraph tags are red in the document. So sometimes you may not want every single paragraph tag to be red. So what if you just want to change one of these paragraph tags? What you can do, instead of targeting all of the paragraph tags, you can choose to target specific ones by giving a paragraph tag or any element that you want to specify an ID. So you can give it an ID and set the ID equal to pretty much whatever you want. So I'm going to call this one pink text. And then we're going to get rid of this again. So now we've got all, back to normal. So with this ID, we can now use style.css to target just this paragraph tag. But we'll have to use, what we'll do is we'll hook into it with this ID. And we've called it pink text, so that means we'll need to use pink text. And to specify that it's an ID, we use a pound sign. So pound sign pink text for ID of pink text, and now we can change the color to pink or whatever color we want. So we'll save that, and now you can see that only this paragraph tag has been affected. So now, what if you wanted to change multiple paragraph tags, but not all of them? What you can do to do that is you can give multiple elements the same class. And giving it a class is something that it's like shared features. So you can give two or more or one elements a class. And then all of those elements will do what is specified in that class. So let's go ahead and what did I call it? Underlined text. Okay, so let's go ahead and call this class underlined text, and we'll give we'll give 3 of these paragraphs a class. Underlined text. Okay, so now we have 3 of these paragraph tags with the class of underlined text. So now we can tell the document what to do with elements with these classes in our CSS. And the way to specify a class is with a dot. So an ID is with a pound sign, and a class is with a dot. And again, the class is called underlined text. So in our style.css, we would do dot underlined text, and then we can use our opening and closing brackets to specify what we're going to do with all of those elements. So let's go ahead and give it a text decoration of underline, and you can learn all about all of these in the CSS MDN. But we're going to go ahead and save that, and now you can see that every element with the class of underlined text has an underlined text, but not the pink one because it doesn't have the class. So that's basically how classes and IDs work. And also there's one more thing that you can do with classes. So let's say this third or this 4th paragraph tag has 2 classes, or you need it to do something that's outside of what this class has. You can add a second class with just by giving it a space inside your HTML page. Give it a space, and then add the second class. I forgot what I called it here. So bolded big text. So now this paragraph has two classes, underlined text and bolded big text. So now in our style.css, we can add a class called bolded big text. And we can say maybe font size 32 pixels and font weight bolder. We'll save that. And now you can see that this paragraph is having both classes applied to it. Okay, so the next thing we'll talk about is, well, I'm going to go ahead and add some more code. Just going to copy and paste. Okay, so now we have quite a few elements here. We'll go ahead and take a look and see what that looks like. So we have basically an unordered list with two list items, and then we have a div with some paragraph tags inside of it, and another unordered list inside of this div, and then another div with another unordered list, and then another p tag. So let's go ahead. So we've got that saved, and this is basically what it looks like. But let's say we want to get, or we want to target the list items, but only the list items inside of the divs. So if we do li color red, all of the list items are going to be targeted, and we don't want these two targeted. So how do we get the ones only inside the div? The way you can do that, so you'll see we have our list items inside of this div. So here's the opening part of the div, here's the closing tag of the div, and these list items are inside of this div. And same with these. These two list items are in these divs. So if we only want to target those two, or those four, and not these ones, what we'll have to do is we'll start out with a div. So we can do div space li to target all of the list items inside of div tags. So now if we do that and we refresh, we'll see that these two are no longer highlighted because they don't meet these requirements. So now, what if you only wanted to target these two, the elements that are inside of this div here, but not this div? What you can do is you can give this div, well, you could do several things. You could give each of these list items an ID, or I mean a class, and you could target that class, but you could also give this div an ID, maybe say div1, and then you can target it by div1 like this. So we can save that, and now these two don't fit the terms either. So only these two are targeted. Only the list items inside of the div with the ID of div1 are targeted. And you could also do it this way because we are setting an ID. So this would also work. And we'll change the color just to prove it. And there we go. Also, what if you want to do the same thing to multiple elements? You can add a comma to specify multiple things. So let's say you want the color to be blue for the LIs that are inside of div1 and all of the paragraph text. You could just do something like this. So you could add a comma and then the other tags that you want this information to be applied to. So we'll save that. And now we have all of the paragraph tags and all of the li tags inside of that div are blue. So this might be confusing. Just practice with it and try to make a goal of to get specific elements, specific colors, or text decorations or something like that, and try to get it the way you want it. And so it's really just about practice. So that's basically an introduction to HTML and CSS, and I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Remember to get your free Learn to Code ebook by clicking here, and also subscribe to my channel for more tutorials by clicking here. Like the video and leave a comment letting me know what you'd like to learn next. Have a good day.